Hi, thank you for joining us. My name is Will Salus, the Vice President of Product and Technology at Opteon.
Hi, I'm Stacy Caprioli, Chief Appraiser at Opteon.
Today, we're going to continue to look at the site section, specifically the site and view and how those impact marketability and the value. When looking at the site influence, this now takes over our location rating. We will still be disclosing the influence and impact, but now we have new fields to disclose. Proximity, a place to add detail towards that influence, and additional freeform commentary spot. Similarly, looking at the view, we are going to disclose the view and the impact, but now we have a new data field to disclose the range of view of that view. Stacy, when looking at proximity and range of view, how does that provide more clarity?
Yeah, I think that these are really great additions to our reporting. And the site influence replacing the location, we're going to see a lot more organization to it. So while you're seeing residential on this one, you can see that we also are going to put in proximity. So this case, it says bordering. You'll also have the drop-down support of on-site or off-site for that proximity of the influence. You can do photographs of your influence right there in that same section, which is going to help for underwriters, going to help the intended user to understand any impact that might be adverse or beneficial or neutral of that site. One key factor to also highlight here is if you have water frontage on your property, you're going to put that as the influence, and that is going to expand out to be able to identify the amount of frontage, as well as then moving into that range of view. Is it full, partial, seasonal, or other? And in the case of other, you'll have the ability to freeform there. So you'll be able to also identify if it's neutral, adverse, or beneficial. So this is going to add a really structured way for us to identify any influences on the property in a very clear way with our photographs right next to it. The additional item that you're also seeing on the screen is you're going to see a site features table, which is going to identify non-residential uses of the property, any hazard zones, any restrictions or easements or encroachments. So similar to our 2.6 data collection, however, it's going to be more structured and organized in this section. And if you have a hazard zone, it's going to expand out into an additional table page, which will keep it in the same area for the intended user to be able to understand what the hazard is.
Looking further at the utilities and impact, we see a new data piece to be collected by the appraisers. The broadband internet availability is a required statement to include, usually needing a yes or no. As you can see below, there is websites and resources that would easily be available to the appraiser to get that information for your subject property. Below there, we see a new table for our utilities. If it's public, we're simply checkboxing those boxes. If it's private, we have the ability to add more detail, disclose the impact of that utility, and provide freeform commentary. Furthermore, we see our apparent defects, damages, deficiencies appear for the site section. If there are any defects, damages, or deficiencies site related, those are now going to be included in a table within this section. Our exhibits will allow you to provide photos of our location, our view, any hazard areas, any site characteristics, or of these damages, which allows interpretation and quick access for the intended user. For more information, please visit our landing page for 3.6.